Stimați prieteni, astăzi vă prezentăm o carte care se numește Toxic Shadows și are ca subtitlu Fatal Love's Healing Beliefs. So today we are introducing you to the book Toxic Shadows, subtitled Fatal Love's Healing Beliefs. This book is written by Maittrey and has been translated into English by my daughter and myself. Autoarea a dorit să aibă această carte mai degrabă în limba engleză decât în limba română, considerând că limba engleză se adresează mult mai multor persoane pe glob. Maittrey had the feeling that publishing the book in English would be of help for more people around the world, and that is why she has chosen to go for this edition. And what I can tell you is that this is a really very useful book and very eye-opening. O prietenă de autoare este printre noi și o să rugăm să ne spună câteva cuvinte despre Maittrey și după aceea vom intra puțin în cuprinsul cărții. Desigur o vom face în limba engleză pentru că și cartea este în limba engleză, dar prietena lui Maittrey va vorbi despre ea în limba română. Veniți, vă rog, lângă mine.
Mulțumesc. Maittrey este o personalitate bestială care a studiat ani de zile tot ce înseamnă arta cuvântului, tot ce înseamnă o profundă abordare despre oameni, despre cultură, despre iubire, despre durere și respectiv tot ce a însemnat această carte este o experiență magnifică despre puterea de a ne vindeca sufletele, de a depăși abuzul, de a trece peste suferința care este o tragedie uneori în viața unor oameni, iar Maittrey, prin această minunată carte, descrie pas cu pas cum să te vindeci, cum să ajungi la tine, la cea mai frumoasă versiune a ta, la o perfecțiune inedită. Da, Maittrey este o personalitate, un om care a studiat științele politice, a studiat jurnalismul și a adus plus valoare omenirii prin a fi alături de fiecare om, prin iubirea sa față de oameni. Vă mulțumesc!
Să vă rog să vă prezentați, dacă nu vă supărați, cum vă numiți?
Liliana Chisari.
Mulțumesc din suflet. Mulțumim mult. The author of this book tells us, I lived for many years in the dense shadow of manipulation without realizing it. Then I discovered a spark within my soul that became my guiding light. It saved me from spiritual collapse and from living a life that wasn't mine. Slowly I changed, but not in a way that would morally gratify my abusers or allow them to feel powerful and worthy by humiliating and belittling me. I worked hard to transform myself and become the best version of who I am. I suffered, I taught myself, I prayed, I forgave, I let go. I discovered that true power and freedom come from within, from the courage to say no to people and situations that complicate our lives and to choose instead what truly does us good. Every day is a new opportunity to free ourselves from pain, betrayal, abuse and humiliation and to reshape our destiny. It's hard but not impossible. I did it, so can you. So the author invites everyone who is in a bad relationship or who is suffering from separation to contain the situation, to manage the situation, and all the book is full of techniques and strategies that will allow caged soul to free themselves. Just with a glance at the table of contents of this book, we can understand a lot about its content. So we have this prologue where we find details about the author's life and sufferings, which has a key message in the end. Almost every section of this book has a key message, or has some key messages that we can go away with and use in our day-to-day life. The key message of the first section of the book is this. At 30, I was still lost in the labyrinth of emotional and psychological abuse. That was when I realized I was living a foreign life, following my parents' script. I was not just a passive victim, but responsible for attracting manipulators. I did not understand my own worth. I was unaware of my qualities and lived with a false belief that anyone who offered me a bit of support or validation deserved a place of importance in my life. The next section introduces us to the cause of sufferings. The title of this section is The Shadows and Lights of Childhood, how parents' experiences shape their children's destiny. And here we find that during the first 3 years after birth, parents lay the foundation for their child's life script. Throughout childhood, this script is influenced by heroes and villains from fairy tales, books, or movies. This is how a child builds their vision of what is good or bad, what it means to be a winner or a loser. During adolescence, that script is revised and adjusted to the surrounding reality. The takeaway message of this section is psychological games refer to complex, often unconscious behaviors through which individuals pursue specific goals or outcomes in their interactions with others. These involve a series of hidden thoughts and actions that, through seemingly well-intentioned, These involves a series of hidden thoughts and actions that, though seemingly well-intentioned, often carry selfish or manipulative motives. There is a section on toxic people, a very useful one. It teaches us who they are and how to recognize them. And there are a few types: the impertinent one, the inconsistent one, the exploiter, the energy vampire, the aggressor, the fanatic, the paranoid, the hesitant one. I would go into more details for one of them. Let's say the aggressor. The aggressor uses violence to dominate you and force you to comply with his wishes. He habitually humiliates and devalues you, constantly reactivating your false beliefs about yourself, that you are not good enough, that you are worthless, unattractive, untalented, or incapable of managing without him. And because, well, she says, when the author says without him, she does not refer only to males. It's actually without him or her. But because an aggressor can also be a woman, not necessarily a man. And because you already have a poor self-image, you tolerate his aggression. He will never let you go. When you finally decide to leave, he will beg you for another chance and promise he will change. And for a few days, he might actually be kind, even sweet, but soon he will return to his old ways. The aggressor needs to dominate. He cannot live otherwise. No matter how grand his promises sound, do not be deceived. They are just bait. He will not change his attitude. If you stay with an aggressor, you'll always be the victim. Is that really what you want? And for every type of toxic people, we have this detailed, careful description, so that in every situation we can identify the person that we should stay away from. The key message is, as I said, don't let toxic persons to get hold of you. We have a section about how to deal with toxic people with a message: a toxic person hates being confronted. Your courage and calm will infuriate them. That is natural. They feel they are losing control because they cannot influence you anymore. As a result, they will increase the psychological pressure, but it's important not to get caught up in conflict. Act according to what you feel and what is best for you. Then we are told that abusers wear masks, and the way that we can be easily deceived is described in this section. And the masks are the repentant one. He claims to regret his past lifestyle, his bad choices or unfavorable decisions. His quote-unquote realization did not just happen by chance. It happened because he met you. You are, quote-unquote, the one. How do you fall into the trap of the repentant abuser? Because you've been deeply influenced by stories, novels, and romantic films that promise that after much suffering, true love can finally be found. This is how you are easily fooled. Another mask is the protector, so he comes to show that he'll protect you, or she, for that matter. The possessor, that's another mask. He tries to distance you from your family, friends, and colleagues. He asks you to delete your social media accounts or photos, claiming that you are in love and do not need to interact with anyone else. There are more details about the possessor that you can find in the book. Then the Confucianist, the parent figure, the generous one, the one that feigns generosity to win you over and then to abuse you. Key message: some abusers present themselves as saviors, offering seemingly unconditional support and ready-made solutions to your problems. Others wear the mask of perfection, showcasing professional success or high social status to provoke admiration. There are also those who rely on empathy and vulnerability. They play the victim, sharing emotional and moving stories. Regardless of the mask they choose, the goal remains the same: to gain your complete trust and neutralize any form of resistance. Then we are being warned in the section why you cannot leave a toxic relationship. So there are many strings, both in our soul, in our mind, and in the social context that will keep us in that relationship. The key message should be: from early childhood, the codependent has often had to beg for everyone's approval, trying to prove they were good enough, or was forced by circumstances to take on one's parents' responsibilities. These experiences prevented them from maturing in a healthy psychological and emotional way. As a result, they learned to become convenient for others and to rescue those who were weaker, helpless, or unable to solve their own problems. How you can overcome this dependency and support your own self out of the situation. So here again we go into several techniques, and the author says, begin by integrating therapeutic practices into your healing process. I recommend the methods of psychotherapist Stephanie Stahl, described in detail in her book, The Child in You, the Breakthrough Method for Bringing Out Your Authentic Self. One of these techniques, which I personally applied and found effective, involves an imaginative return to the past, revisiting a specific situation from your childhood in which you felt deeply hurt because of your parents' lack of love. So there are these techniques that are very helpful, with the key messages: on the path toward new opportunities, obstacles are inevitable. Yet the benefits of leaving your comfort zone, discovering unexploited inner resources, developing resilience, and focusing on personal growth can lead to profound transformations that stagnation could never allow. The way a person accepts suffering gives them immense possibilities for recovery, even in the harshest circumstances. They can remain courageous, dignified, and selfless, or they can lose their humanity. Inner strength has the power to lift a person above destiny. We are being told about the details of emotional blackmail and how it manifests. It has some stages, like the demand, the resistance, psychological pressure, the threats, leading to acceptance and repetition. With the key messages: emotional blackmailers act out of fear of change, rejection, losing someone, or losing control. They make grand promises, but rarely keep them. The generous ones who shower you with gifts and favors soon threaten to take everything away. They ignore your needs and desires while forcing you to fulfill theirs. True acceptance is born from clarity, not confusion, from mutual respect, not manipulation, from freedom, not emotional coercion. The blackmailed person, though unaware of what's happening, feels a psychological discomfort. They sense hidden motives but misread them, because those motives are expressed in positive terms and reinforced through seemingly caring gestures. The personalities of emotional blackmailers that developed here, like the sacrificer, the martyr, the tempter, the demagogue, the polytechnician, the accomplices. And we are being told about the cost of emotional blackmail. Emotional blackmail destroys your self-trust, forcing you to accept a distorted reality. You begin to doubt your own strengths, values, and principles. Why do you yield to blackmail? Because you've revealed your past wounds, painful experiences that the manipulators now uses against you. That is why personal traumas must never be shared carelessly. Under certain circumstances, people may exploit your suffering to devalue you and emotionally blackmail you. As you can see, there are so many important issues here, all treated very seriously and based on science and psychological studies. So this book is an instrument, a real tool for all people who feel lost or disappointed in their relationships and who would like to rebuild themselves, to rebuild to regain their personality, and go on in life in a dignified manner, valuing themselves and showing to the world how powerful they can become once they find their own essence. So I'm recommending this book from my heart. It's good for every one of us because there's always the danger of meeting a toxic person and being deceived by her or him. Thank you very much for your attention, and please visit our website, which is www.libreriacoresi.ro. Thank you. Bye-bye.